Jordan, it's like it will be a little bit information so that you can identify when you go back to your home, so that you can talk to your friend about Jordan in like a paragraph. So we are in Jordan. We are part of the Arab nation. So we speak officially Arabic language as an official language for the whole Jordan. And Jordan, we are 11 million people are living, half of us in Amman, and we have 3 more million in the north. In total, most of the people are living in the north. Why in the north? Which is at your backside. Why? Because we have a good or moderate weather in the north. Now we are going to cross and to drive throughout all the way toward the south. You almost will cross all Jordan, because we are a small country, and in 4 hours driving you're almost at the cross borders of Jordan. You will be driving and you'll be crossing all Jordan. This is why you will see now like desert. Now the soil, it's a little bit like yellow, and it will start to change into more yellow, more desert. While you are passing through the south, you will see more desert land. And you will start to see, you came from Amman, the capital. A lot of people are living in there. Now we are outside Amman, going towards south. If you look at your right or left hand, you start to see villages, small villages. Because we mentioned all the population, all the Jordanians living in the middle or in the north, but not in the south. Why? Normally, nobody wants to live in the desert. So it's almost desert now. This is the starting or the transit from the good soil, from the agricultural land to the desert. This is the Arabian desert, the end of the Arabian desert. And you have been before, or you heard about the Gulf countries, the rich countries. We are not rich. They have oil. We don't have oil. So this is the edge of the Arabian desert that contains Saudi Arabia, Emirates, United Arab Emirates, Qatar. So this is the end of the desert. And now we started to enter the desert itself. This is the road that you are driving in. We called it the desert road. Normally you are going to the desert, most of it, more than 80% desert. So this is why it's called the desert road. It's the only road, the only main road that is I'm sorry, we have 3 main roads. This is the major, main, vital, important road that connects south to north. And sometimes you started to see some trucks, lorries, trucks coming in both ways. Why? Because it connects the only sea that we have it, which is the Red Sea. We have only Aqaba port at the Red Sea, and we have another sea. It's dead. We call it the Dead Sea. You know it. And maybe you're looking for the Dead Sea product. So, the Dead Sea, it's dead. Nobody is living in there, even fishes, nothing. It's super salty. We take it from it like the original Dead Sea product. It contains more than 26 elements of that you are searching. Sometimes I have a lot of questions for the beautiful ladies. Did you have the Levant product? Yes, we have it in Jordan. We bring it from the Dead Sea, product. So it's dead, nothing in there, but we make from it like some products. The only seaport we have it is the Aqaba port, the red, yellow red. It's the Red Sea. So this way is one of the 3 major ways that connects both south toward east. This is regarding the road. This is regarding Jordan in general. In general, Jordan, why it's important? If you link sometimes the historical with the biblical, with the religious stories, they can make something sense into your mind, which is normal people want to go wherever there is moderate weather, not hot, as at the same time a good drinking water. This is why this area, it's a holy area for sure, but it's the cradle of all civilization. All the civilization came and settled at the beginning in this area. Do you know what's the oldest city in the world? Who knows it? What is it? What's the oldest city in the world? City, not people, not guy, not person. Who have it? You will cross it the first day you are going to Israel. It's Jericho. Jericho, the oldest city in the world. So this is nearby here, at your right hand. So, as well at your left hand, we have Iraqi country. So Jordan, we have at the east side. East, where is the sun? Look at the sun, almost there. So this is the east side. We have Iraq. We have Israel side from the west. We have Syrian at the north. We have Saudi Arabia at the south. So normally, people, when they want to settle, they're looking for, they came to Iraq first. Why? Because it contains two rivers, Dijla and Furat, what we called always in the ancient, the country of the two rivers. So there the people started to live in Iraq. And this is why we have Abraham, we have Lut, they were in Iraq, right? And then God ordered them to cross over Jordan. They passed here, they crossed toward the Dead Sea, which is the Jordan Valley. Lut, he was ordered by God to, you have to go to Sodom and Gomorrah, which is at the Jordan Valley. Abraham, you should enter into the west bank of the Jordan River. At that time there is no Israelites, he is before the Israelites. So you should cross the Jordan Valley toward the west side. Now we will link. Normally God sent them to the people. They were prophets, so go there, invite them to the God. Go there, invite them to the God. This is the story of the biblical or the religious stories came from where's the people? The people who were living in Iraq. So Abraham sent to Iraq. His nephew Lut was with him. They cross by order of God. Later what we have? We have all the civilization came. They are normal human beings like us. They think, where should we go? We should control of Jordan. Why? It's in the middle of the road. If you control Jordan, you're controlling the whole area. Why? Because there is an Indians, they are having a nice spices, right? In the ancient time, you were producing spices. So me as a merchant, if I'm thinking of to be international businessman, I want to bring some spices from India and I send it to the Greece or Greek, where there's a civilization came, the Greek. We called it the Great Alexander, right? This was in the 4th century. So if I want to bring spices from India to the, I should pass by Jordan. This is why all the civilization comes to Jordan. This is why we have a lot of historical sites from the Greek. Before the Greek, they were before the Christ with 400 years, or almost 333 exactly. Where we have a guy called the Great Alexander. He united all the Greeks and he defeated the Persian, right, in a battle called Jajamela, nearby Iraq here. And he started to control all over the region. Before going back to Abraham's time, Lut's time, then later, Abraham times and Lut times, they were at 1800 before the Christ. Almost 600 before Moses. Lut, he have like his people, Sodom and Gomorrah, and they were get punished, and God make them upside down, right? Because they have like a bad action, you know it. This is Sodom and Gomorrah. It's in the Dead Sea, at your right hand. It's the sometimes look at the whole image, if you like, as you are making like a piece. We have some religion, we have historical, we have geographics. The geography affected the history. The religion, we call it religion, but they are normal people with the history. All these three elements representing the whole story. Geographic, what we have? Jordan at the middle, and we are at the top of the mountain. before the prophets, before Abraham, before everyone, before Adam, before Eve. We have all the land they were one piece, right? They were one piece. And they started to be separated, right? And we have here Asian part, India from the Asia, and we have African parts, Egypt from Africa. And your tour will be, now we are in Asia, you will cross toward Africa. These two continents started to be separated, Asian with African. When they separated, they formed the Jordan Valley. We have Asian going toward east, African going toward west, a little bit toward north. This is what we form, and we have a pressure in the continents. We have the mountains, and we have Jordan Valley. We have mountains, west side, east side. And this is, you can see, now you are here at the top of the east mountain. And tomorrow, all of us will be going to the Jordan Valley. So, you are at the top. And you are the only dry land path from Asia to Africa. You have to pass by Jordan. If you want, in the past, they don't have like flight tickets. They don't ship by Amazon or Express. You have only what you have is a camel caravan. Exactly. You have to pass by Jordan. This area represented as a vast hub, trade, important area for everyone. Because of the geography, because of these two continents. Tomorrow you will see it by your eyes. We are at the top and we are going down. The difference here, now we are at almost 1,000. Tomorrow we will go minus 400 to the Dead Sea. The difference almost 1,400 or 1,500. This is affected the history, and the prophets go to the people normally. They are normal people. Where's the people? They go Abraham, Lut. Then later we have the Persian. Then we have Moses' time, and you know the story of Moses. Abraham, let's go back to Abraham. Abraham, he has like one son called Isaac, right? Isaac. Then from Isaac he have another son, Isaac's son. His name is Jacob. And Jacob, his another name is Israel. Right. And Jacob, Israel, he has 11 sons, right? One of them called Joseph. Right? Joseph, he has the story, and you know all his story. His father, Israel, or Jacob, he loves him more than his brothers. This is why they took him away. They told his father, we want to play with him outside, please let him play with us. He told, please be, and they were living in the West Bank, in the Israel nowadays. We want to play with him. He told, okay, please take care of him. He's like an old baby, old kid. Then they throw him in the well. Then we have like a camel caravan, businessman coming from west bank of the Jordan River, and they want to drink some water. One of them, he was taking water out of the well. When he looks, there was a little frightened kid. This was Joseph. They took him away, and those guys on their way to Egypt. There, they sold him to the wives of the, not Pharaoh, but the king of Egypt. Why? And I will link it why the pharaohs make the Israelites slaves. We have the pharaohs from dated back. They were ruling Egypt from 5,000 years ago, before Abraham with 2,000 years. Then we have pharaohs. In certain time, there is a nation came from some of them. They call them Hyksos. They came from some theories from Greece, some theories from like North Europe. We call them Hyksos. Those Hyksos, they entered Egypt. The Hyksos, and they make a revolution on the pharaohs, and they took the control of Egypt from the pharaohs. Unlucky, when Joseph entered, you know the whole story, when he went into the king of one from the Hyksos. When he was there, he started, and there's like a pandemic, and there's no harvest for 7 years. Joseph himself started to control Egypt. He's from Israelites, and he bring with him all his 11 brothers from Israel nowadays to Egypt. Those 11 brothers started to make generation. In certain time, what we have, the pharaohs themselves, they want their rules back. They make a revolution on the Hyksos, which is Joseph and the Israelites. They took back the rule. And now, yesterday, you were ruling us, you held the Hyksos, today we are the one who is ruling, all of you are slaves. And the Israelites, they became as slaves from 1600 before the Christ, going down till 1200, which is the Moses time. Moses time in 1200 before the Christ, almost 1200 years. And you know the story of Moses when the Pharaoh, so the pharaohs, they are normally ruling, and one day he had a dream. There's a baby from the Israelites, he will take the throne from my side. As a reaction, he wake up in the morning, let's kill all the infant boys, Israeli boys. He started to kill them all. Then the consultant, they told him, Pharaoh, come on, what you are doing? If you kill them all, there's no slaves for us. So please, like, leave a little bit of them. Then he modified his decision. Okay, let's kill every other year. 1 year we will leave them, next year we will kill them. This was his decision. And we have Aaron, right? Aaron, he's Moses' brother. And we done the story of his mother throwing him away like Moses. Why? He normally gave him birth in the year. This is the forgiveness from the Pharaoh. So he normally lived. Aaron, he's older than Moses with 1 year. So in his year, it's like forgiveness from the Pharaoh. Leave them. Next year, the killing year, Moses' time. So you know the story when his mom Mary, she make like a wooden box and she throw him away towards the Nile River. Then the story continue. And we have like later on, all these stories happened and we have the great Exodus and the Pharaoh's dream becomes true, right? This guy, he raised him by himself and at the end, there's a revolution. It's not a revolution actually, but it's a nation movement. Moses told to Pharaoh, just leave us, we want to leave. We have the promised land, we want to go there. But Pharaoh did not leave them until he got drawn in the Red Sea. You know the Red Sea, we have two streams, right? Left and side. This happened at the left side. At the right side we have Aqaba. At the left side he hit with his stick the sea and he started to pass. He wanted to go to the promised land, but there he was stuck by the Arab Canaanites. They were ruling the West Bank. They never let him to pass. This is why he came to this desert, to this area. As I'm looking at their side, at those mountains, they came here. They want to pass again because they are stuck here. They asked the Edomites. In Jordan, we have 3 kingdoms, small kingdoms: Ammon, Moab, Edom. They asked the Edomites. They never allowed them. He want peace. He have a nation. He have more than 500,000 people. They want to cross to the promised land. The Edomites, they stopped them. So Moses left them. Then he came here to Moab, the another kingdom. He asked them, I want to pass. I don't want to settle with you. But they're getting afraid from him. Why? Because they are a nation. If they settled with the Moab, there will be like it will be like a crowd on the all facilities, on all the infrastructure. There at the Moab, which is the next kingdom, he decided to fight. And as you know, he defeated them and they crossed. This was at the end of 40 years. It's long time. It's not a 50 people group that can end it with 10 days with a bus. They are a nation. They have a camel caravans, but he have to feed them. He have to supply them with water. So it's a nation movement. You cannot do it with 1 month. And at the same time, it's not to getting lost. They don't know the direction, but they are getting stuck with the local nation, local kingdoms. They have a problem with the Edomites, and there Aaron was died out at the Edomites at Petra. They passed here. They have one fight. Sometimes he have to secure them to with food, with water. This is why it takes too long until the end of the lost time, which is 40 years, was ended by the death of Moses at Mount Nebo. Tomorrow you will be there. You will see. You will be standing at the same spot he was there one day. Then we have another good servant, Joshua, right? He continue the tour. He continued the tour and he crossed to the oldest city in the world, which is Jericho. You will be in the same path. This is regarding the history. So these lands, almost like you have it geographic. You are at the middle of the Middle East, at the middle of all trades. So all the historical places, most of the stories here, as well later on with the biblical Old Testament, as well in New Testament. Regarding the New, why is Jordan important for all Christians? Yes, the simple answer, yes, because you have the baptism site. I know, but this is why it's here. Because at Jesus' time, Jesus Christ came at the 1 AD, right? It's his time. But normally, go back to history again. We have multiple civilization. We have the Greek, right? Then they passed away, or the civilization, they vanished, right? This is the most suitable word, vanished out. Then we have the Roman. The Roman came and they took over the cities again. In Jordan, they have major 6 cities. Why they build it? Because they have a problem with the Nabatean people. Now the people who are going to. So they make cities, Amman, Jarash, Erbet, Qais, but they had different names in the ancient time. They want to fight economically against the Nabatean. Later on I will give you a little bit history about the Nabatean. So the Roman, they were ready in Jordan. As well, they were ready in Jerusalem, as well in Israel nowadays. So it's like a modern country, they have to take control of it. So we have one guy, normally look at it this way. One guy going out from the Israeli side, he's inviting everyone to be equal. He having a new religion. So we don't like as a Roman leaders. So the Roman don't like Jesus and what he's bringing with. This is why they arranged to cross him out. Later, after Jesus, we have a lot of his followers normally. If we stay in the Israel, then we will have the same destiny, the same crossing. They started to run away. Jesus himself, sometimes he ran away from the Roman. So, thinking as him normally, you are living in the West Bank, and you have some people taking control of the West Bank, and you have to invite some people, but if they found you, they will like behead you or they will cross you. So he ran away. When he ran away, he go geographics again. We have mountains. So at the top of the mountains we have cities. At the top of the mountains we have cities. So here is at the slope of the mountains we have some caves. Let's go there. So he was hiding from the Roman in those caves. As well, we have John. As well, he was away from the Roman. This is where they met, in the Jordan Valley. And the place, the baptism site, where Jesus meets John there, and he gets baptized by him. As well, before the baptism itself, Jesus and his mom, Mary, they went to multiple caves in the Jordan side. They were hidden in some caves One of them in Ajnoun, north of Jordan. We called it Saint Mary, Virgin Mary, Church. So we have a lot of places as well important in the New Testament, which is the Jesus time. Normally, why? Because they were in these spots heading from the Roman, not in the major cities, but outside the major cities, which is in the Jordan Valley and the caves there. Later on, as well, the early Christian, they will sacrifice themselves. There's no joke in this. If you are refused to make some sacrifice for Zeus, you directly will be killed. So this is was for the early Christian to run away as well from the Roman again, and to come to the Jordan side, sometimes in the caves, to be hidden from the Roman, until this tragic story at the beginning, at the sacrifice that they make, was ended with the good story, that is the Roman Empire itself turned into Christianity. But this took from them 324 years. So a lot of years of suffering until the Roman turned into Christianity, and we called it Roman Byzantine from that time, when they turned into Christianity. So this is like an introduction about Jordan, the historical side, the geographical side. Nowadays, like the distribution, the desert road, and the historical as well religious stories about Jordan. Regarding the tour itself, now we are driving toward Petra. From the beginning, it will take like 3.5 hour driving with with half an hour stop.